dropped an album, you feel me? It's called If Looks Could Kill. It's basically rage music with guitars, which I think is pretty cool. It really brings the rockstar energy to life. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna turn on my camera and show y'all how to make a beat like that. Pretty simple, honestly. If you already know how to make a rage beat, you can do this pretty easily. Essentially, how we're gonna go about building the main guitar progression is we're gonna literally like build it from the ground up. So like we're gonna start with the bass notes. For this, you're not gonna do anything crazy, something very simple, very light. I just have these simple bass notes. Very simple, that's just the base of it. After this, basically what you're gonna do is you're essentially gonna start building your chords. So you're gonna put the top notes, right? Now the thing with when you're building your chords, when you're putting your top notes on top of the bass notes with Destroy Lonely beats, other than the actual sinister feeling of the bass notes, what's gonna give it that rockstar energy is keeping the top notes of the chord very simple, right? So essentially like right here, it's literally just 3 notes, like. So now the melody has that rockstar feeling, you feel what I'm saying? So that's basically the main chords. That's like the foundation of the melody. So from here, once I have the main part of the guitar done, I like to do this with every melody that I draw in. So what I like to do is I like to render out all my melodies to audio. The reason for that is because once it's out, once I render it out to audio, it's easier to manipulate it. I can do more with it. I can make it sound more interesting. I can do a lot of dope stuff with it. Especially that it's a guitar melody, that's definitely something you want to have in audio. So what I like to do is I select melody, I solo each part. So I've soloed the bass notes right here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the mixer. You're gonna arm the master track right here with this red button right here, and you're gonna press Option R. And what this does is you can record it and you can turn it into an audio file. So then it's gonna pop up here. The reason why I bounced it out to audio is because now once I transpose this down, it's gonna sound different from if I just transpose the actual MIDI, because when you transpose audio, it kind of messes with the sonics a bit. It makes it sound more damaged, but in a good way. Like I guess you could say it gives it more of an organic sound, right? Especially that we're using a VST, we need that damaged sound, we need that rockstar feeling. So what you're gonna do is you're also gonna render the other part of the melody, same thing, you're just gonna take it. So now that we have both audios layered, we're gonna export that the same way that we did with the other 2 melodies. We're just gonna export them together, right? See, that's the melody. But now if I transpose this down 2 notes, right? 200 cents, 2 semitones. There we go. There's that rockstar feeling. Right, there's that rockstar feeling. And now we didn't even put effects yet. So for effects, I personally like to put a distortion. It gives it kind of like buzzes it up a bit, like an amp type sound. There are actual amp simulating VSTs effects out there, so if you want to use your own, feel free, but I use a distortion and it does the job fine. And then I have an EQ just to cut out the lows. Obviously, you know, we're gonna have a lot of drums, a lot of low end going on. It's trap at the end of the day, so you got to make sure you cut out those low frequencies to let that 808 hit. A little RC20 retro color, we all know what this does at this point. I mean, you know, slight detune, a bit of noise, distortion, space, you know, basically just makes it feel a bit more vintage, which is what we're going for. And a chorus, which is what I think is essential for guitar melodies. Even if it's a little bit of chorus or a lot, I feel like you need chorus on your guitars. You see here I turned it down a bit. This is Tau Chorus. This is a free VST. You guys can get this literally right now. Just look it up and you can find it for free. So with all of that, it's gonna sound like this. Sounding great. So now we have the melody done. We're gonna move on to the drums. If you make rage beats already, if you already know how to make rage beats, this will be very simple to you. Like it's basically a rage beat without the synthy melodies. It's just a guitar instead, right? So we start here. I'm gonna start with the hi-hat. So you see right here, it's just this pattern repeated twice. And I hardly put any rolls. Like I know a lot of producers, they'll tend to like go crazy with rolls and stuff, but I personally feel like there's no point of putting rolls if it's not gonna actually add to the bounce, right? So right here, it's like, it's very strategically placed. Like it's not like just randomly put everywhere and stuff. So make sure, like, remember that less is more, that you don't always have to abuse the hi-hats and stuff. Then we got the clap. Basic clap. Just a basic clap, nothing crazy. And I added some snares and a few little rolls. Open hats. The part that everyone waits for, the best part, the 808, man. The 808. With this type of style, he doesn't really use like hard hitting 808s. It's more so like the smooth, like sub bass ish. So you definitely want to find one of those, or well, honestly, like if you want to add a hard hitting bass, create your own wave, you can, but I'm trying to recreate his sound, so I'm going to be using a smooth 808. That's the type of bass that when it plays in your car, man, gets everything shaking and stuff. That's the type of bass you need with these Destroy Lonely beats. The type of stuff that gets people off their feet at Rolling Loud. So then later on, I added a little top melody, right? Just a little top melody, nothing crazy, just to add more variation to the beat, make it less boring. This is how it goes. For the audio, it's the same process as the other melodies, you know, record it, blah, 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 manipulate it and throw on effects and everything. Actually, with the top melodies, what I like to do, I like to offset the panning a little bit from the main chords, just so it can have like its own space in a way. And it's also just good for like the stereo imaging, I guess you could say, of the overall beat. It just makes the beat feel fuller and wider. So I'm definitely do that. So yeah, you see right here, I have a slight pan on the chords and a slight pan on the top melody, left, right. Yeah, so it sounds like this with all the effects. Tell me that doesn't sound tough, bro. Like, this sounds crazy. Okay, and basically from here with the arrangement, what I like to do is I like to have the chorus come in with the main melody, and then I'll add top melodies. And for the verse, you know, you just have more variation, and then a little pause at the end, like a little pre-chorus or whatever. Chorus again, verse again. And I didn't even put an outro for this beat, because with these rage beats, you don't even need an outro. Really, I didn't even have to put an intro, but I just did it because I felt like it. So that's pretty much it, man. There's not much to it. I mean, for the master, I have a fruity limiter, but it's not the default setting. Shout out Snaps for this preset. Actually, you can find it in his Discord server. If you don't know Snaps, he's a producer with quite a few placements in the game. You know, he's pretty known. Yeah, I basically took this preset and I turned down the gain a little bit because it was a bit too loud. Yeah, it's just hitting, man. You can put a soft clipper instead. Like it really does the same thing. It's just that with his preset, it pushes the master a bit more, so it gives him more of that distorted rage sound. But a soft clipper does the job just fine. I alternate between the two for my master. So yeah, anyways, man, yeah, that's the end of the tutorial. It really is that simple, you know. There's not much to making these types of beats. At the end of the day, you just have to have fun with it. Like, don't overthink what you're doing. Like, just go with how you feel, because at the end of the day, if you listen to a certain sound, you'll be able to recreate it by just feeling. You see what I'm saying? One more thing is that don't necessarily like rip other producers' sounds and just claim them as yours or whatever. Like, try and like take something that you hear that you like and apply it to your own music instead of just straight up ripping the entire sound, you know? So yeah, that's my advice to producers. But yeah, hopefully this tutorial helped. If it did, drop a like. I'll see you guys in the next one.